Hello, welcome to Happy Home Therapy, and I still remain your host, Merima, aka the Emotional Healer. And on today's Happy Home Therapy, we have a beautiful guest in the house, a woman who has gone through a very tough journey in life, and she's here to share her story. Today, we're not going to be talking about anything. She's going to be sharing her story to motivate those that are actually going through that condition right now. We are going to be talking about the challenges that comes with waiting on the Lord for a child. So we have in the house beautiful Mrs. Sandra Onyemachi.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Good to have you in the house.
Same here.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
More pretty than your pictures actually. So
Thank
welcome
you.
to the show. Good to have you.
Same here.
So Mrs. Sandra,
Yeah,
you are going to be sharing your story with us. Hope you're ready to do that.
sure.
And hope you're not going to cry.
I'll try not to.
Okay. So Mrs. Sandra, you are married.
Yes, I am.
For how long have you been married?
I've been married for 7 years. This is my 7th year in marriage.
Wow.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Okay, my name is Mrs. Sandra Onyemachi, like you rightfully said. Nee Harrison, Sandra Harrison.
Okay.
Before I got married. And I'm an entrepreneur. I studied mass communication in school and then came out with an offer, and then I have a business I'm running, normal Nigerian factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm running my business. I deal on skincare, everything beauty, clothes,
You're
hair,
into fashion.
everything.
No wonder you're just beautiful. Good to have you once again.
Thank you.
So we are going to be talking about the challenges one face when going through, when waiting on the Lord for a child.
Yeah.
We'll go on a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Happy Home Therapy, and I still remain your host, Merima, and we still have in the house beautiful Mrs. Sandra Onyemachi. So, like we were saying before, can you tell us a little about your story? How was it like?
Well, I got married in 2012, December
Okay.
22nd, and bearing a child
Yeah.
was an issue. It's not, I was conceiving was not the problem. You know, the problem was miscarriages.
Yes.
I kept having miscarriages. So each time I conceive, the baby will stay like 2 or 3 months and then it's off. So I had, within the space of 6 years, more than 19 miscarriages.
Wow.
You know, at some point they were asking how many children are remaining in her womb, you know. Where did I not go to? As usual now, you know, they'll say you're the problem as a woman.
Yeah.
We are always the ones with the problem.
Blend, yeah.
So, different churches, different hospitals. I don't want to mention names of hospitals. I wouldn't know if it's right to do that on air, you know. But at some point, you know, medicine, like English medicine, you know, after spending, I think the year was 2014 or 15. After spending roughly 1.8 million thereabouts trying to do the guy called it implants, not even IVF. He called it insemination, something of that nature. You know, and it failed. My husband said he's not going to spend any of that money regarding medicine, like English medicine. So we had to go into the Ogribo thing. He wasn't approved. He didn't approve of it, you know. But then, at some point, peer pressure, you know, a lot of his friends, some have stayed for 4 years or wherever, and then they're like, okay, there's a man, so and so, and then we rush. There's a woman here, and then we rush. I went to Oka, I went to Enugu, I went to Oka is an umbrella. I went to Ungwa, I went to Olu, I went to Mbise
For
local herbs. Yes, I went to Mbise. I went to a whole of places. Where did I not go to? In fact, I almost went around Nigeria. You know, the eastern parts, though. You know, both the one my husband was aware of and the one my husband was aware of. You know, I went on my own and I kept going. You know, and then those drugs or those drinks, you know, they don't have dosage. So they're harmful to your kidney, one. Secondly, you know, what they do, any hormonal drug at all, whether traditional or English, adds weight, because normal HSG will make you add.
Yeah.
So I don't know whatever it was that were in the drugs,
Yeah.
but then you keep adding weight, and then people see you and they're like, I watch your weight to, before a whole lot of talks,
Yeah.
man. A whole lot of things were said.
So how long did you stay before you started going to check if you are fine? Like, how long did you stay? 1 year, 2 years before you went for?
Before I started going
Yeah.
for hospital things. Okay, normal. I think 2 years.
Okay.
I had. I wasn't really interested in going anywhere because
Yeah.
obviously I was conceiving. So the issue was anytime I took
Yeah.
in, I'll carry my 2 legs up. I won't go anywhere. Stay in the house for the next 3 months. And then anything you can be cooking stew.
Yeah.
Maybe you say let you cook stew or cook soup or whatever. It can be anything.
Yeah.
Once you stand up for like 20 to 30 minutes and you're done, the moment you sit down, let you rest, you hear pop 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 pop, and then blood is
Yeah.
all over the place. So when I knew it became a problem was towards the third year. Obviously I've lost over 10 babies, and then they're asking, of course some people say I'm eating the
Yeah.
babies in my womb,
African mentality, yeah.
and a whole lot of things. So I just had to start going. And then when those herbs sometimes were not working,
Yeah.
you go to God. Now obviously
Yeah.
I was in the choir, and they use my clothes, they clean.
Yeah.
Sorry for the pigeon.
Yeah.
And use my clothes, they clean chair. Sometimes I sleep, maybe there's an issue,
Yeah.
at home, maybe the same child issue. I go to the church and I just sleep, and my husband's looking for me round.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you? Where is she? I'm in the church. God, like,
As a woman of faith.
yes, take my life. Let me know that I'm not living.
Yeah.
At some point it was frustration. A whole lot of things.
But were there challenges you faced from people around you?
My God, the closest they were, the more they talks. Even people far away from me were more understanding than
Yeah.
those I called my friends. Yeah, a whole lot of things were said. Though, a whole lot. Sure. One of them said because I do business, and
Yeah.
whatever it is I put my mind into, I go whatever I
Okay,
go
so,
for, man.
yeah. So committed.
Yes, I must achieve that. So the zeal, the drive was so much. And then the next thing, I my business that I started not less than 2 years, gave me a car and all the rest of them, and they're like,
She's after money and not
yes,
for family.
no, like, keep buying cars, yeah. Instead
Other
of you to go and
collaboration,
yes, instead of you to go and give birth, you're buying cars, a whole lot of things.
How were you able to take it in? Those kind of words.
I cried though. I'm not strong. I'm very emotional. I'm strong, but in a
Yeah, when it comes
different
to
way.
emotion,
Yes, I cry a lot. It helps me ease.
Yeah.
Yes, it helps me ease my pain. So I don't. Sometimes I don't cry when I go out. I'm a happy, very happy. Hang out with friends, talk. I'm very lively for people that know me. But when it comes to crying, I'm number
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I'm the president of the Criers Association,
Yeah.
because it helps me a lot. Once I shed those
Yeah,
tears,
you're fine.
I'm fine. So a whole lot of times I go to my bed and I kneel down and I cry, and then my cry was always channeled to God. Like, are you really there? What
Yeah.
exactly is my offense? Like, what exactly did I do
Yeah.
wrong?
But when you were going to the hospital, was there anything they said was wrong with you, or?
Yeah,
nothing
a
was
lot of
actually wrong?
things were said. They said my fallopian. One doctor said my fallopian tubes were tilted. One doctor said hormonal imbalance, which is normal for them to say.
Okay.
Some say I wasn't ovulating. Normal.
They
They
kept
were
giving you
giving me
drugs.
drugs, and I kept adding weight. A whole lot of things were said. A whole lot of operations were carried out. A whole lot of tests to check your tubes.
Yeah.
There's one very painful one that you do only once in your lifetime. I did it twice. Every woman should do it just once. If you need to do it.
What's that?
I've forgotten the
An
name.
injection or
No,
job?
it's like an X-ray of your tube,
Okay.
your
okay.
ovarian tube. Yeah, so because it's extremely, the pain is excruciating, so you're not supposed to do
Do
it
it more than
twice.
once.
Yes, in your lifetime, but I did it twice. Just to try and see, where my help,
Yeah.
can come from.
You're just trying to play your own part as a woman.
As a human,
wife.
exactly,
Yeah.
so that they won't say you're at fault or anything.
So how did your husband take in all this?
The man na man, sha.
Yeah, as a man,
Yes,
definitely.
he's I don't know what to say to his regards. Like, he's very understanding when it comes to that. Child was never really our issue.
Sure.
We talk about every other thing. We have normal couple challenges, but he never rubs it to my face to say, okay, this is what it is. But normally when he goes out, hang out with friends and all that, even at some point he stopped attending child education.
Wow.
So that it doesn't remind him of the fact that he doesn't have
a
kids.
child,
So normally when he goes out and comes back and some of those things happen, he'll be like, okay, what do we do? Several times he recommended places, even though he couldn't go, his money went. He'll tell me go, and then maybe come back and give me feedbacks. Most of the time, at first he wasn't interested in joining me because obviously he
knew everything was fine.
Yeah, he will always say I'm fine. Normal men will always say I'm fine. So but at some point, moral, if it's moral support, he will always tell me, you have a baby, you'll be fine and all that. Yes, but definitely once or twice, I can't say everything was smooth. As a human being that he is, pressure from friends, from family, once or twice, once in a while he will always say, when we have an argument or something.
As an African man,
yes, exactly. So, but other than that, he was quite understanding to a large extent. And
wow.
Yes, I bless God for him.
Okay. On that note, we'll be going on a short break and we'll be right back. Sandra. So, Mrs. Sandra, you were saying something before. I'm going to ask you a very funny question. As a woman who is going through some sort of challenges, especially when it comes to childbearing, when you make out with your husband, the period you are being told nothing is wrong with you, you're fine and all that, and you've taken a lot of drugs and nothing is working. Now, that point where you're making out with your husband, do you make out with anger, with pains your heart, like I must stick in today by fire by force? Like how is the feeling like?
Sex became an occupation. Sex became work. Like, you fix date, you fix time.
Really?
I'm ovulating today, we can't miss it. As in, sex became an occupation. And then after every event, let me use that word, you must stay at a particular position so that maybe it doesn't flow out of you or whatever. A whole lot of things. Even people that know nothing about you advise you regarding your sex life, like maybe or something. So definitely sex became an occupation, something you must do, at a particular, the work is not with you. It's even the man you should be asking.
At the point where you make a roster and maybe he's tired or something, do you force him and drag him to the bed?
You have to force him now. You have to force him because the doctor say 19th of September, for instance, you have to, that's the ovulation, that's the day your eggs are ripe and this and that. So you have to force him. You must walk.
Look hot and all that. Just try.
There is no two ways about it. You bath, you rub perfume. You make sure you're smelling nice, and then you try as much as you can to woo him. And then when he's done, are you mad to stand up? You remain in that particular position, without even lifting even your head.
And what we're going to your head that time will be, I must stick him.
In Jesus' name. Yes, you're praying. This baby will fall in Jesus' name. This baby will stay in Jesus' name. Of course, they will.
And how did you feel after each encounter and maybe the time you targeted for it and it wasn't coming up?
Yeah, those experiences are things I won't want to remember, because jokes apart, it's not funny. It starts with some kind of sensation under your waist, like maybe your period is about to come out and you're telling yourself, no, not again, no, not again, no, not again, God, no, not again. And then after some time it stops and you're like, okay, maybe you're all dressed up to go somewhere, you're like, I'm not going anywhere, I don't want to stress myself. And then you lay down, and with all that, you're like, okay, I'm good. The whole sensation or whatever stops. And then in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., you wake up to ease yourself and you go to the bathroom and you sit down and you stand up and there's blood all over the place and you're like, Jesus, what did I do? What have I done? So it's not, it's crazy. It's
How
not
do you feel then when a pregnant woman passes or you see pregnant woman?
Oh my Lord. crazy. As in, I will greet you like 6 million times just to be sure you.
Yeah,
Until I was greeting, I actually greeted you before. Madam, I've heard, well done, good afternoon, I'll greet you good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, just to make sure you heard my greetings. And then child education, I was always there. Even on one occasion I went for child education. There's something this one of our pastor's wife does then. When a couple comes out to dedicate a baby, she will collect the baby. Normally it's the pastor wife that will carry the baby, depending on the church anyway. Sometimes it's the mother-in-law or the mother of the girl that gave birth to her, but in that case it was our pastor's wife. She will always carry the baby and dance to the front. Then when we get to the altar, while the pastor is saying some certain things, she'll be giving it to women that she knows are seeking for the group, trying to conceive parents. She'll be handing the babies to you to like carry
to feel what it feels
exactly like. So that you can tap the blessing. That's why she does that. So mine wasn't that I wasn't conceiving. Mine was that I was losing the baby. And the story that went was I'm a witch and I was eating the babies in my womb. So I observed that the woman was watching. The mother of that particular baby was watching everybody they were handing the baby over to. And then when it got to my turn for the woman to give me, as in she left where she was standing at the podium. She was already on the altar. She left where she was standing at the podium and ran out
to take the baby from you,
collect the baby from me,
because she believed you were a witch or something.
Exactly, that maybe after my encounter with her child, maybe her child would die.
How did you feel at that point?
Man, I just took
my emotional right now.
I just took my bag and I left. I was in the choir. I was supposed to minister that day. I had a solo to do for the church ministration, but I just picked my bag and I left. And then I told God that this is another another reason why you must give me my own child. So my baby is 1 year now, sir. So
I'm feeling so emotional right now. I have too
my
many
baby is
questions
1 year.
in my head.
It's 1 year now. She turned 1 some days back on the 12th, of September. So it's a whole.
There was no time you gave up on God, like
I gave up 2017, and I told God, if I don't conceive before this year ends and it doesn't stay, I think I'm done. I've tried. My dad is a pastor. Because of frivolities or gallivanting or whatever, I married early just to make sure I'm in a man's house and it's not like I'm doing boyfriend and girlfriend stuff. And then they paid my bride price and did everything officially. So what exactly is my offense? So I told him that I think our services will expire this year. If this year ends and nothing happens, I think I'm done. Wow. And then I had an encounter with a man of God actually that he told me that it was going to be Reverend A.K. Anyaku, God bless you, sir, that was going to be the end of the miscarriages. But after he prophesied that, I think in June or July, I still had 2 more miscarriages. So that was the devil trying to play pranks, before the
when you had those miscarriages.
I had forgotten about the pastor. I had forgotten about him and his prophecy. Had forgotten, at some point I left my home. At some point I was divorced with my husband because of this. Yes, a whole lot of issues. At some point we divorced, we broke up entirely. Everybody like, okay, as in so that you can be happy and I can be happy, live your life. Maybe exactly. So maybe I'm the problem and maybe you are the problem. We don't know. So let's get
to sort ourselves out.
Let's just be fine and be and then God still brought us together somehow. Just
the time you separated, did you actually give up totally, like no child again for you? Maybe you were not meant to.
Yes, I was actually, exactly. I was actually saying I wasn't even going to get married again. I was going to face my maybe career and all the rest of them, and at some point in my life maybe adopt a girl and that. And then that year, that 2017, I told myself I was going to buy myself a puppy. Wow. A puppy, a chihuahua. That I will take care of and pet maybe for the next 4 or 5 years. Till whatever. Maybe it's time for me to now adopt a child or something. So but that 2017, 7 days for 2017 to end, I think that was 26th of December. They now told me you are pregnant.
Wow.
And then I smiled and I looked up. I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. So he fulfilled his own part of the bargain, which is God. And that was basically
I
it.
want us to rewind a little bit. The part where you say you separated, how was the reconciling like? How did you feel like?
Um, we are just soulmates. That's what it is. Cause every time there's an issue, one way or the other, we tend to see that we just cannot live without each other. Yeah. So if you are where I'm not saying what works for me works for other people. If you're where you're not being appreciated, if you're where nobody values you, maybe you're being abused. Exactly. Sometimes the best step is to move. Leave. If the person values you, the person will come back for you. It might take 2 years, 3 years, but if that relationship is meant to work, the person will come back for you. If not, then you leave. Then it's better. You definitely find somebody else. I mean, how much is the population in the world? It's too much for you not to find somebody.
That's when you must have tried everything under your
power. And you know you're not. Yes, and you know deep down inside of you, you're not actually at fault. Yes, because it will be crazy for you to not be able to still conceive, and then emotionally you're still depressed. It has a way. Yes, of course, it affects you. It affects you. Me, when I'm emotional, I don't even work well. It affects my work. It affects everything about me. Yeah, so I could be pregnant, and then your emotions has a lot of role to play when you're seeking for the fruit of the womb. So if you're not happy, always sad, where you are, you're not comfortable. Normally you always be sad as regards your issue. But then let it just be that
normal.
It's just the fact that you can't conceive or whatever. Let it not be that exactly whoever is negative around you, cut them off, man. Cut them completely off. You don't need such negative energy around you. Whoever, it can be your mom. Stay far away from her. It can be anybody. I use your mom because that's the best person in everybody's life. So stay very far away. Normal, I'm not saying you should disown her, however. Call her once in a while, check on her and all that, but let her be very far away from you. When she wants to start saying towards that direction of things you don't want her to say, just drop the call like it's network and move on with your life.
Just to protect your peace.
Exactly.
On that note, we'll be going on a short break and we'll be right back. Hello, welcome back to Happy Home Therapy. And Mrs. Sandra, what was the feeling like when you carried your pregnancy, your baby to full term? What was the feeling like?
That was the longest 9 months of my life.
Wow.
The longest. I didn't go where. I didn't go anywhere. I was always indoors. People hardly knew I was pregnant. Normal, first of all, the whole Nigerian factor. If evil eye see you, you might lose the baby. Secondly, I didn't know, because several times people have seen me with protruded tummy, and after some time, hey, you don't born, and then there's no baby to present. So I didn't want people to see me, and then just in case anything happens to that. So there were a lot of factors that made me not to be around. Thirdly, my hospital was in a different state, and I was in a different state. So when it was, even several times in the pregnancy, I was always traveling for antenatal, and I stayed there and this and that. So even business, everything was on shutdown, just to make sure that baby comes. So out. Getting to 9 months was thank you, Jesus. Although I stayed beyond 9 months because they were waiting for me to give birth like Hebrew women. And the baby was not interested in coming out like Hebrew child. So at the end of the day, it had to be CS, cesarean section, but as in it was better because first of all, at some point the baby was not at risk, I was not at risk. So it was just the best option at that point.
How did you feel carrying the child first time?
Jeez. How can I forget? Okay, first of all, after the operation, normally you can't move. You have to lie down straight for like 24 hours. After 24 hours, you can now try to sit up. After sitting up, you still have to be at a position for like 2 or 3 days before you're now free to maybe move around, depending on how strong you are. But after 24 hours, when I could now sit up, they were now telling me to try and breastfeed my baby, and that was where the tears came. And then they're like, okay, put him out here, and my tears was not the fact that I the tears were not coming because my mom was like, is it paining you trying to put the baby's mouth in your in my on my nipple? Yes. So my mom was asking me, is it paining you? And I'm like, no, I'm actually breastfeeding my own child. I just celebrated her birthday, on the 15th of September. So 14th rather, or 15th, I can't remember anymore. On Saturday, 14th. Saturday was.
She's
14th.
my bet. Oh my god.
Yes.
That was my birthday actually.
Oh,
wow.
Really? I just celebrated her birthday on the 14th.
Yeah.
She was born on the 12th though, but I celebrated her on the 14th.
14th.
Yes, and it was another tears.
Yeah. For
because yes, I was
Reflection,
actually no, because I was actually celebrating my own child's birthday. I've been to several children's birthdays. I would want to collect gifts. They're like, where is the child? Because normally they hand gifts back to
the children,
kids. Yes, and me, when they call all the children to come out to collect gifts, I will always go to collect gifts, and they'll be like, where is your child? And then I'll tell them my child is coming. I will always collect one pack. I must take one pack home, and then I have pen, paper, Ben 10, a whole lot of things regarding little kids' birthday at home. So celebrating my own child's birthday made me so emotional. But I tried as much as I could to cover it because the makeup one was heavy. So breastfeeding my baby, my own child, 2 days after I had given birth was something else. Wow. I was crying all through, shedding a whole lot of tears. So it's an experience every woman has to, unless natural conditions, maybe it's now obvious you can't have your own child. But then even if you want to adopt a newborn, adopt somebody that's still very, very tender, so that you can start from beginning to nurture and care for them like your own. It's the best feeling in the world.
Do you believe God? Like, you believe God gives children?
Sure. God gave me my child.
Okay, so you believe totally in God.
Chizara, that's her name.
Wow. So what is the advice to Titi parents, those are waiting on God for a child? TTC,
yeah, it will come. It will definitely come. I felt if we were me 4 years ago, in as much as you tell yourself I'll have a child, you don't believe. Some part of you don't believe you will. So my what I'm trying to say to them is, believe it. It will come. Live your normal life. Stop all the I'm not going to go out, I'm not going to hang out, I'm not going to interact with people, I'm not going to, because it will come. So enjoy your single life, because man, taking care of a baby is another work on its own. Your life changes. So enjoy your singleness now, because your baby is coming. Your baby will definitely
so
come.
now I have a partner. I always say enjoy. Exactly how I do it. That is just how you do it.
Enjoy now.
Yourself. Because some people are actually wishing that they are still single.
Yes.
Those that have kids, it's not as if they don't like their kids, but because of the stress involved, they wish they are still very much single
without kids. Sure.
So you had our guest, Mrs. Sandra. There's nothing to stress yourself about.
Nothing.
Enjoy yourself. Live your normal life. Children comes from God. At the time when God say you have a child, your own children will come. Trust me. And you, mother-in-law, please try as much as you can to take in that daughter-in-law of yours as your own daughter. Now let's look at it this way. If your daughter is to be married and she has not had her own child, trust me, no matter the challenge, no matter whatever it is that's coming from her in-laws, you will try to fight for her. You will try to stand by her. So see your daughter-in-law as you see your daughter. Try to fight for her. Try to defend her. Try to protect. Try to show her as much love as possible. And trust me, I think that is the time you have to show her as many love as possible. Let her know that you love her just the way she is and not because of the kids. And you, the husband, try to be supportive. Try to love your wife with or without a child. If the child is not forthcoming, you can adopt a child. There are many children in the street that are looking for who to take care of them. Trust me, that child that you might go out to adopt to might actually bring your own children, not even a child. Might actually bring your own children. So maybe, who knows, you showing some care, you showing some love to the motherless out there might actually bring your own children. Don't put pressure on yourself. Don't put pressure. There are some wives that actually put pressure on the husband. That's husband that are like that. So don't put pressure on each other. Try to appreciate yourself. Try to love yourself. Try to have fun now that you don't have a child. Trust me, the right time that child will come. And you that always go about claiming friendship, trying to protect your friends, trying to care. When are you going to have a child? Allow them. It's their choice to make. You are not God, trust me. This thing has effect on us as a human being, emotionally, psychologically. You asking people, when are you having a child? When are you getting married? Those is a normal question, but trust me that it does a lot of things to us as a human being. In as much as you might be claiming to be strong, the person might claim that everything is fine, I don't want to have a child. But do you know that person might actually not have a womb? That person might actually be going through some psychological issues, and you asking that question would definitely break that person down. If not, they're indoors. So please stop. There are some things, like I always say, there are some things you will think inside of you, but you don't need to speak them out. It's not everything you speak you say, and it's not everything you say or you wish you want to say you write or you shout or scream about. So please allow people to live their lives. Stop going about to ask friends, your brothers, when are we expecting, when are we seeing our children. Stop it. If you want a child, you can go have one. Stop disturbing them. It's God that gives children. No matter whatever it is, it's God that actually gives children. You can actually be fine. If God says He's not giving you a child, you will not have a child.
Of course.
You can actually not have a womb. If God says you are going to have your own child, trust me,
womb
with
yet.
or without a womb, you will have your own child. As many as you want. As many as He wants you to have it. So why bothering yourself? Why the fight? It's not worth it if God is not fully involved. So please, no matter how many years it is, you've had a sister, she was barren for 6 years. She was even taking it and she was losing it. That is even the worst of it. Like that feeling when you see the blood, like it kills. But she was strong till this day, and she has her own children. She's having the second one in 2 years. So trust me, there's nothing God cannot do. No matter how many years you stay, please keep believing God and keep trusting Him. At the right time, you will have your own child. So thank you very much. It was nice having you on today's show.
Thank you.
Hope we'll have you again. We'll invite you.
Sure.
Thank you very much for viewing, for having you on this episode. We will see you on the next episode. Bye.